Everyone, welcome. I've got Vishwas here from RP Tech, right, to tell us more about what is their company into and how they are playing in the embedded and electronics ecosystem, right? So, Vishwas, over to you, right? Can you tell us give us some background about RP Tech, right, and its journey into the electronics and embedded ecosystem?
Yeah, so it's been an interesting story that Rashi Peripherals was started by two chartered accountants, Mr. Suresh Pansari and Mr. K.K. Chaudhary. So they were the first generation entrepreneurs who started this. And it's purely distribution company. So we started with distribution of IT products like Asus, Logitech, and then we kept on adding many of the brands. And today the company is $1.5 billion company in India. And we got IPO in 2024 on Valentine's Day, yeah, last year. Yeah, so I think the journey so far has been quite interesting. And if you look at from management perspective, they are duly committed to all the new business units that have been added. Like I would say, embedded business unit is one of the youngest within RP Tech or Rashi Peripherals. So just want to tell you that Rashi Peripherals is our legal name and trade name is RP Tech. So like we started with peripherals, but now we are carrying many technology brands. So consciously there is a projection that it's a technology company.
So you mentioned that the embedded journey has recently started in 2021, right? So how has the journey evolved over the years and what is the current status right now?
Yeah, so I think when we started way back in 2021, from that time to till today, we have added about 30 plus brands or suppliers in our portfolio. So we have consciously gone through our solution selling approach. That's why we have not, you can say, hastily added any of the brands, right? So that have been consciously added as a part of our solution selling strategy. And in that terms, we also want to differentiate ourselves by we have developed our own embedded lab. We have set up our embedded lab, and which is adding value to our suppliers as well as to customers. So adding value means in terms of creating reference designs, demo solutions. And today, if you look at whatever we are exhibiting during this event, all those solutions are designed, developed by our own team, our team of FAEs and engineers. So we are not only showcasing directly supplier demos. I would say 90% of the demos are created by our own team. Primarily our core business remains IT products. But yes, as any organization would like to look at what are the growth areas. So in terms of that, if you look at way back, like if you go back maybe 5 years back, we have always been talking about semiconductor growth. And secondly thing is we have always been seeing we Indians being moving from consumption economy to buying economy. Primarily if you look at from perspective of electronic components. Because earlier many of the products just got imported into India. But today if you see many of those products are designed, manufactured in India. So I think that is the value that most of the key suppliers are seeing. And you will see related to that because many of those design centers of those semiconductor companies, product companies are getting set up in India. So I think that is the value our management have seen, and that's why they had the foresight to invest into this segment.
So for a customer, you can do the design of the product also as well as supply the components also. Is it?
Yes. So let me just elaborate on that. We don't own the product. We don't own but we are enablers. Enablers from supplier side and enablers from facilitators from customer side. Because when any technology gets introduced, customer has option of many suppliers. Then engineer what component he would pick up, right? He or she would pick up. So basically it is wherever they get the ease of design. So in terms of that, we bring that value by creating the reference designs so that it is easy adoption by those engineers and those companies.
So generally we see the reference designs being produced by the brands. But here your team is producing their own reference designs based on the local needs?
It is both ways. Sometimes it is extension of what our suppliers have created, because we are ultimately designing for our Indian customers, right? So maybe it has to be in Indian context, we have to see that. So some portion is that, and some portion is like if we talk about the motherboards, right? Especially if I talk in the context of processors, then certainly those designs or motherboards are created by our suppliers. Like for example, if it is an Intel processor board or AMD processor board, right? So those are developed by companies like say Advantech, Asus, ECS. So those are our partners, and that in terms of maybe Supermicro, Lenovo. So then what we do is we have like our DNA being in IT product, we have core strength in reach. So we have about 10,000 partners in India.
10,000
Partners.
as in people who sell for
Yes.
resellers.
Yes. So if we talk about Rashi's IT right approach in that, so that is why you see we have a biggest reach, where we have our more than 52 branches with 68 warehouses. And billing in about 700 plus towns and cities of India. So that is the reach which is there being a IT product supplier, and we are from embedded team are making use of that facility to reach out to those customers, because Indian customers they want sometimes they want in US dollars, and sometimes they prefer having localized billing. So our branch setup enables that to reach out to those customers.
And here your typical sales cycle starts from the R&D team or from the purchase team?
Yeah, it's a very valid question to ask. These days only design teams are making those decisions. Earlier it used to be okay, technology, features. But now the engineers are smart enough today, they look at the techno-commercial fitment. So basically, if you talk about any supplier in this domain, they would always reach out to engineering community, because then they have the sense of what are the requirements, and then they also have a feeling of what are the commercials required for them. And then of course purchase remain the ultimate buyer, right? So for that we work along with very closely with the supply chain teams of our customers.
Okay. And which would be your top 3 or 5 brands out of the 30 that you mentioned are on board? Would you be able to share some insights?
Yeah, so I would say that out of all these domains, considering the segments or applications that we are operating in, then certainly we have brands like say, if I look at from IoT, AIoT perspective, then certainly we have NVIDIA is one of our flagship brand. Then apart from that, we do a lot of Intel, AMD based solutions, be it from processor side or from embedded board side. And then of course these are coupled with all the peripherals. Like I mentioned to you, our solution selling, right? So wherever processors are there, they are getting enabled with thermal solutions, where we do products from Nidec, which is into thermal solutions. And then memory and storage like Micron, SanDisk, AData, Flexon. So all these are.
And any particular segments, industry segments where you're seeing highest growth for RPTech?
Yes, I think being in RPTech, we are looking at what are the growth segments for our country. So those are the markets that we want to cater to. Now, in our experience, when we started, we have seen, because we were the, you can say, last or amongst the last entrants into being from the embedded point of view. So we have looked at those products where it can generate our cash cycle faster. So we have seen adoption of embedded boards. So that has really helped us. And in the long run, we are looking at all those component-based designs. And segment-wise, if you ask me, in India particularly, automotive is one of the segment which is growing, followed by AIoT, which is in ocean itself, various kind of industrial IoT products, may it be from agriculture perspective, drone perspective, robotics, whether they are used in warehouse or some other kind of application. And then of course we look at consumer applications also.
Now, R&D engineers typically need samples at times, right, for the POCs. And generally we see that the large distributors take time, or depending on how important the customer is, then they give a sample or not. How do you handle this challenge? Does your team face this challenge, and how do you handle it?
Yeah, I think that is one of the requirements when any customer starts with proto build and all that. But I think I would say thanks to our suppliers, we have certainly been able to take care of all that. One aspect is we look at what are those focus products. So we try to keep those samples, and because we work closely with all our suppliers. So in that way, I think it gives us a slightly insight into what kind of products to be promoted. That certainly helps us in doing that sample.
Yes, sir. And lastly, can you give some indication as to how the team in the embedded space has expanded over the last 4 years? What the numbers were and what the numbers are now?
So, first of all, the thing is that although the company is known to be one of the top distributors in IT segment, but we are slowly doing from embedded business unit point of view. So now we are about 20 people team right now, but we are growing, and since we are adding more number of lines, we need to cater to more number of customers. So we are expanding in that way. So we are certainly looking at a more number of people in terms of business development, field application engineers, or embedded engineers. Yeah, so I would maybe through you, I would like to reach out to all those engineers who are into sales, business development, that please come over, talk to us. We are more interested to expand our team. We are looking at people who have good industry connects. Yeah, and we can together partner and see the next 10 years, or say from 1947 to 2047, right? So this is the right period to be there in India, where government has enabled a lot of local manufacturing and designing through PLI, DLI schemes. So certainly let's be together part of that growth story for India.
So then what are the locations in which these positions are open?
Yeah, so right now I am looking for positions in say North, which is primarily Delhi or NCR, and then in Chennai, in Bangalore, in Hyderabad. So it's a mix of that.
Okay. And West, you seem to have a strong team.
Yes, so West I have already set up my team. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Right. So if any of you have any doubts or queries, please post them, comment, and we will share them with the RP team and try to get them replied as soon as possible.
Thank you.